your patience. Goodness. Okay, round two. Welcome to our Mandala Universes. This is where we meet every single day. And we draw in. We support each other through technology. Technology fails. um, Hi. Yeah, I don't know what happened, and I apologize. I had the camera on the kids and went to turn it back around, and it, from my side, took a screenshot and would not budge. So here we are. It is 8:11, so we can go to 8:41, make it a half an hour practice. How are you this morning? I'm feeling a little like befuddled by that glitch. That was like, why is this happening? Um, but I must have gotten a good night's sleep because it's making me giggle and just be like, you know, interwebs, technology, old phones, Luddites. Yeah, I'm so ready to go back to my old analog watches. I just need to get some batteries in them. I'm kind of creeped out by my Apple Watch. And I don't think it's also very old. I don't think it's very accurate at counting steps anymore. Laura is making a reminder that we have a Zoom meeting for those who can make it after mandalas today. And is that at 9 o'clock? So if someone wants to put that in, we can make that reminder. Yeah, so here we are. And Ms. M is taking deep breaths with much to do today. And Leticia is feeling peaceful. Deep breaths are good. And maybe deep breaths are just a really nice way to start the day today. We can do some of those. So if you want to put a check-in the comments, like how are you feeling, how are you arriving? And then we can go from there. Okay, so 8:45. So I want to, we'll cut off in time for everyone to get a little bio break and a cup of coffee, whatever you need. And the Zoom call is for everyone who's attended one of the mandala retreats, 3 now, going on 4, to review the survey. And then Kathy said she went out and came back and weird echo is gone. Who knows what it is today. I just took my earbuds out, so maybe it was earbuds being weird. And Carol saying arriving with admiration for nature. Yeah, right? Oh gosh, it was so beautiful where you were yesterday. And I was thinking of huge congratulations for you because it was like, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, it's like, oh gosh, how do I get this whole new platform working? And yesterday you were like walking through the woods. So, Carol, I think you can reach out to Pamela and she'll send you that link. And for everyone, you are all welcome here. Everyone is welcome here. As I said on the abruptly canceled one, we meet every morning at 8 o'clock here on the west coast of the US, but whatever time it is in your time zone, all around the world. And we meet for half an hour. We draw mandalas, and mandalas are circles. And then into those circles, we just put whatever is arising for us, whatever, be it words or shapes or colors, representational, abstract patterns, doodles, whatever is emerging that sort of brings the inside to the outside, a way to witness, a way to hold space. We hold space for each other, and we also do some grounding, some checking in, So we can do a little grounding right now. Ms. M mentioned that they were taking deep breaths. Ooh. And I think a deep breath or two is a good place to start. So just find your body. I have a tendency to do really weird things with my feet that are very ungrounding. Like right now, my right foot is hooked around the leg of the chair and tightly flexed. So that's not very relaxed and not in contact with the floor. So I'm gonna find some contact with the floor with both my feet. I'm gonna even up my sitting bones so that my weight is fairly evenly distributed. I'm gonna find my spine. I'm gonna let my breath actually lift my ribs away from the bowl of the pelvis so the basket of the ribs is buoyant, filled with the heart, buoyant. The bowl of the pelvis is grounded, root chakra sinking down. So can you even imagine, those ancient trees where Carol was walking yesterday and all those roots reaching into the earth, sinking down, being nourished, being in community with the other trees, with the mycelium. Imagine yourself so deeply rooted, deeply held, part of your community, part of this community, and above the ground, rising up, reaching into the air, into space, letting the crown of the head, almost like an invisible string, maybe one of those birds passing through, is giving a little tug, right on a couple hairs there. Lifting the head up, and then find a way to lift your shoulders up, back, and down. Then fall away from the ears. Arms should rest. Let the elbows be heavy. Let the wrists be heavy. Let the palms of your hands and your fingertips all the way through be heavy. And feel the breath. Just notice your breathing right now. And then take a little energy, attention, effort into your breath so that you're breathing in a little more fully. Maybe breathing into some areas that you noticed the breath wasn't quite reaching before. And when you're ready, breathe out and let that exhalation grow longer than the inhalation. And you can even breathe in through the nose, filling all the way up and out through the mouth. There might be a sound, a sigh. And breathing in again. And out. And one more time like that, breathing in. And out. And you can continue like that if it's comfortable, soothing, helpful. And you can come back to your regular breathing if you want to do that. And I'm going to read a short passage from Robin Wall Kimmerer's The Serviceberry. And she writes, I cherish the notion of a gift economy, that we might back away from the grinding system, which reduces everything to a commodity and leaves most of us bereft of what we really want, a sense of belonging and relationship and purpose and beauty, which can never be commoditized. I want to be part of a system in which wealth means having enough to share, and where the gratification of meeting your family needs is not poisoned by destroying that possibility for someone else. I want to live in a society where the currency of exchange is gratitude and the infinitely renewable resource of kindness, which multiplies every time it is shared rather than depreciating with use. I want to live in a society where the currency of exchange is gratitude and the infinitely renewable resource of kindness, which multiplies every time it is shared rather than depreciating with use. And that circle is so, our circle, I think, embodies that. So, breathing, remembering to still breathe, we can come to the page. And most of us keep our drawings in books, in notebooks, and we, being inspired by Carol's leaves yesterday, start with an inhale, end with an exhale. Maybe start with an exhale and end with an inhale. Maybe go round and round. I often go round and round. And I have a very wobbly oval circle today. Looks like the beginning of a portrait. I know, funny. I'm leaving it in that orientation. Yeah, you get to draw whatever. I should probably catch up on the comments. In our earlier attempt this morning, I was talking about stuffs and how moving that was. Really grateful for Catherine giving that a shout out so that we could catch it. I think it closes actually today here. So I'm really grateful to have seen that and want to explore and learn. But I've been really wanting to just share like that arc of, like that sort of pit of terror with the elections on Tuesday, and the joy and relief and the reality of, the result elections on Tuesday, but the reality that we have lots of work to do, lots of care to give, lots of watching out for each other, which I'm seeing as like lots of opportunity to build community, to reach out, to connect. And how are you feeling about all that? Let's see. And Pamela was saying, Michelina is feeling, okay, sorry. Pamela's saying she sent a Zoom link via email last night, so check your email. And Pamela's checking in a little frazzled, too many tasks squeezing in on being. Michelina's feeling worried and impatient. I'm sorry. Sounds like a busy day. I mean, Ms. M, Michelina, Pamela. Does sound like a busy day. May there be space. One of my teachers would really talk about kind of the space between, almost like where's that little gap between the inhale and the exhale, and can we, in our busyness, just find that little place of rest within the busyness, not having to put everything stop, but where is the way to rest within the movement almost. And Pamela saying that the words were bringing the inside to the outside, or the outside to the inside. And Ms. M saying, we're over here, Sita. I think she crawled into Olivia's crate. And it's Robin Wall Kimmerer, the same author as Braiding Sweetgrass. So a little essay that was published into a book, holding up the wrong book, called The Service Berry. It's very sweet. It has pretty illustrations. Inspiring. I will post it into the Instagram a little bit later. And Jan is here. Good morning, Jan. Feeling kindness towards myself. And Kathy just dipped paintbrush into coffee. New colors. Currency of exchange is gratitude. Amen, says Nazem. And amen to that from me too. Feeling gratitude. Comment never posted. Catherine is saying, I'm going to see it in Philly with friends in January. It'll be my 4th time seeing it. And then she's talking about stuffs. If in New York City within the next 8 months, recommend going to Ragtime on Broadway. Another relevant show given the political climate. Yeah, that got quite a big write-up actually in Vogue on the female director who is staging that revival. And I didn't realize that was a much more contemporary play than I ever thought. You know, I thought it was from, I don't know, Rodgers and Hammerstein or something. But it's much more contemporary than that. I think from maybe the 90s? But, okay, you are now our theater critic and advisor, KG. Because we do see most of the productions again out here. And usually don't have to wait too long. It's 8:27. We'll go a couple minutes over, but maybe to 8:35, just to give everyone who's going to jump on the Zoom a chance. Of course, I'm going to work, so I won't be able to join you, but I am glad that you are all getting together, and I wish I could see all of your faces and give you all hugs. Virtual hugs. Do that right now. Yes, late 90s, says KGE. And Carol says, see you all on Zoom with a kiss. And Amy says, also just paintbrush into tea. So it's just a little jaggedy this morning, isn't it? And I'm getting some jaggeties. I don't know, it kind of looks like a Halloween eyeball. I don't know what's going on here. Some of the nice colors from outside, just the brightness. I was supposed to do something out of doors on Thursday, but it's supposed to be raining. So I don't know. I was going to try to go hunt down some fall color, maybe in Golden Gate Park or something, but we'll see. We'll see. Last week we were scheduled to have a atmospheric river, and we got a little rain. So I am definitely taking that weather report with a shaker of salt. And Pamela says, my words are, I am willing to climb over the wall. Walls, bridges. How do we move? Maybe it's a dinosaur eye. I don't know. What do you think? I think it might be part of a dinosaur. If it's a fossil. And I hear your words, Pamela, and the words that are coming for me are, you know, willing to just stay in this energy. Like, to me it feels kind of bubbly and fizzy and effervescent. And so just, yeah, like being a channel for the energy. Oh, wow, okay. KG says, I am willing to relax. And Kathy says, make your own bright spot. And Laura says, death. The other side lies just beyond that door. Some interesting symbolism in mind today. Elena says, currency of kindness. Yeah, Laura, that sounds really intense. A lot coming up, and you know, there's so much metaphorically in death and rebirth and the cycle of life. Really just holding space for you with your words and your symbols. In the Buddhist traditions, there are many meditations on the body and on the end of this life as we know it, and they are said to be great teachers for actually being more present and more alive. So just gonna throw that out. And Laura says there's a comforting air about it, though. And I don't know if your E on the end of air is deliberate, but it calls to me as the fairy realm, seeing that. So, it, deliberate or not, there's definitely magics coming through. Yes. Okay. Yay. Love it. Love it. Yes. So it's 8:33. It is a full morning. And I'm just going to close, just read this short passage again. It says, I cherish the notion of a gift economy, that we might back away from the grinding system, which reduces everything to a commodity and leaves most of us bereft of what we really want, a sense of belonging and relationship and purpose and beauty, which can never be commoditized. I want to be part of a system in which wealth means having enough to share, and where the gratification of meeting your family needs is not poisoned by destroying that possibility for someone else. I want to live in a society where the currency of exchange is gratitude and the infinitely renewable resource of kindness, which multiplies every time it is shared, rather than depreciating with use. And so, my dears, thank you so much for showing up again and again. And your patience, your love for holding this circle, making this magic, making this fullness, this place of gratitude and abundance. So I love you. And Jan is saying, seeking magic. big hugs. Have a beautiful day. Have a rewarding call. And I will see you in ether soon. And on this side of the camera, so to speak, in a couple weeks.